Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Going in Blind. So we have another episode of the add-ins. So yeah, we got a new release on a set, and yeah, we got a lot of cards. So what we have here is just a few of the cards that were added in. We're gonna be trying to add them into every deck, but yeah, I wanted to show you what I bought just so you guys could see. And it's pretty much a playset of every single card that we've been working on for the Going in Blind series, okay? So yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit about that. But yeah, let me talk about this first. I'm gonna make two parts of this because there's a lot of Final Fantasy VII stuff, okay? A lot, I'm not kidding. And because there's another series that I want to announce. So we're gonna start doing Final Fantasy 15, okay? I already have every single card. We are going to start, but we're gonna do so after this, okay? So stay tuned for that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think after we do the add-ins. And I'm gonna start making 15 and then comes 12. I'm getting the cards for that. But yeah, as always, a playset of every card going on a deck. It's following the rules of playset, but adhering to the elements. So fire decks only have fire. If it's a fire water deck, it's only fire water, that kind of thing, okay? It's adhering to that. Also, it's adhering to its title. So it's either all Final Fantasy 4 or 1 or 13 in this case, okay? So let's talk a little bit about those cards. That's what this is gonna be about. It's gonna be Final Fantasy 1, 4, and 13. So we're gonna go one by one, starting with Final Fantasy 1. We got an Earth Warrior of Light that's cost 4. It's a forward, and it says when Warrior of Light enters the field, you may search for 2, not 1, 2 job standard unit and put them into the break zone. Okay. Then at the beginning of the attack phase, during each of your turns, you may pay X. When you do so, choose one job standard from your break zone, put it onto the field. X is gonna be the cost, okay? So it's letting you search for them, and then it can allow you to get them back. And then if you have damage 3, this guy gains plus 1,000. 8,000 seems pretty insignificant, but it's 8,000, so maybe 1,000 taking it to the 9,000 is good. Whatever. It's another Warrior of Light. We're gonna have them all in the deck. That's okay. However, I'm very excited for this new card. It's gonna be the cost 2 Garland. That's a backup. Okay, it's the first backup Garland that we have. There's no other backups. And so, you know, like, we can do many things with it. I don't think for title stuff it works. I mean, there's very few backups. And that's the whole point. I wish we had like more Warrior of Light backups. We had more standard unit backups. That'd be great. But we don't, sadly enough. So yeah, the fact that there's a new Garland, amazing, okay? Now it's interesting because it's not Dissidia Final Fantasy. Every other Garland is. Weird, right? But yeah, that's the way this one works. And so yeah, it's a knight. It says whenever Garland enters the field, choose one forward an opponent controls. You gain control of it until the end of the turn. Okay, this card steals stuff. Okay, disgusting. But hey, that's good on a 1v1 in a multiplayer. I guess it'll be not as good. It's a 1-for-1 that is virtual card advantage +2 for the other players, so -2 for you. That's gonna be it for Final Fantasy 1. There's very few cards, and as always, they release even fewer than there are of the other titles or the other categories. Let's move on to another category though. We have Final Fantasy 4, and look at those cuties. Look at those cuties. Palom and Porom are both cost 2. Forwards, Apprentice Mages with 5k. And as it always is the case, they support each other. Okay, so let's start with Palom first. It says if you control a card named Porom, the cost required to play Palom is reduced by 2. It's coming out for free, okay? A card named Porom. You know how many Poroms there are in our Palom and Porom deck? I mean, there's so many choices. Oh my god, this is amazing, okay? But that's not all. It also says the forwards with 2 or more experience counters on them. Oh, we have other Palm and Porums with the XPs already, I think. Yep, you control gain plus 2000. Nice. So this comes out for free. It buffs, and then it says when it enters the field, choose one forward, place 2 experience counter. Wow, 2 experience counters on it. Okay, so put any XP on the Porum, it gains 7,000. Let's see the other one. I think it's gonna be the same one. Ooh, a reduction. So one is a buff, the other one is a protection. Nice. It's the Porum says if you control a card named Palom, the cost required to cast Porum is reduced by 2. So free again. This is crazy, and it buffs and debuffs. Crazy. The forwards with 2 or more experience counters on them you control gain. If this forward is dealt damage, reduce the damage by 2,000 instead. And that is so cool. Oh my god. And then when Palom enters the field, choose one forward, place 2 EXP. So place it onto the Porum that made the Palom that made the Porum free. That's so good, and it's so cute. Look at the arts, they're so cute. Oh my god. Anyways, let's keep going. We know those are definitely going in, so we might be taking out some of the support that's not Palom Porum. I don't know, but yeah, I think Tella's gonna take a hit or take a hike, you know. Now we got another red support. We got Kane. It's a cost 4 Dragoon. That's a forward, and it says haste and first strike. When Kane attacks, all the forwards with haste or first strike you control gain plus 2,000 power until the end of the turn. That's amazing because there's a lot of haste and a lot of attacking going on in the Kane decks. Now, whether they can have this on the deck or not is another 20 bucks. Okay, Kane is usually in lightning and wind colors. There's one other Kane in fire, and it has haste, so I guess it supports itself, but it's a very far away Kane from this one, so this is not an L3 card that supports the other Kane. Actually, there can only be one Kane in the field at a time, so it wouldn't support an L3, L6, an All-Star whatsoever. Like, this would only support other Kane's title. So either this card is made for title, or it's just not at all. What can I say? So yeah, the Kane also has a sacrifice effect. So you pitch a card from your hand, a Kane card, and pay 1 fire, and choose one forward, deal it 8,000 damage. Okay, so like I said, might be a title card or coincidence. It's a card just for us. We also had the Golbus. The Golbus costs 5, and it's a fire one. What? Okay, we have Golbus on all lightning except for one off, which is water. So the fact that there's one that's fire now, it's hilarious. Okay, but hey, they go in line with the other Archfiends, so I'm not mad about it. Hopefully there's a wind and an earth one pretty soon, and I'd enjoy it. I'd put it all in. So it's a forward that taps dolls and says deal 5,000 damage to all the forwards an opponent controls. Whoa, okay, it's damage. It's not a board wipe, but it could be, but I don't think it will be. And then it says fire and tap, choose one forward in the break zone, add it to your hand. You can only use this ability once per turn. This one is amazing because this lets you get the Archfiends. We're definitely gonna put this in the Archfiend deck, obviously, but how good it is, that's really good. Then fire in one of any element and tap it, choose one forward and break it. Whoa, so it's a board wipe, it's spot removal, and it's also graveyard recursion. This Golbus is pretty amazeballs right there. Okay, now we got a summon. Final Fantasy IV in our format is not very well known for summons, so it's probably not gonna go in, or I need a whole new deck to make it in. So it's cost 1 Asura, whatever, and yeah, summon, activate all forwards you control. That's a good card. Not for this category, but that's a good card. Until the end of turn, all forwards you control gain. This forward cannot be returned to its owner's hand by your opponent's summons or abilities, and the power of this forward cannot be decreased by your opponent's summons and abilities. Okay, so protection and untapping. That's good. This screams combo piece right there. You know, it might be an extender. I don't know. I don't play L3 or L6. I don't know how to play standard stuff, okay? But it seems pretty good. Pretty good. It's not gonna make it in our decks. I'm telling you, there's no Asuras. There's 3 already, counting this one. 3. Not gonna happen, okay? So what can I say? It's not making the cut. Still a great card. We'll keep it for the future. Whenever we get a new win deck, hey, we'll put it in. Okay, not excited for this one. Am excited for all the other ones. They're all pretty good. Now let's move on to category 13 though. We're also missing the limit break card. We're not caring about limit break too much because of the way the rules work for limit break. We can't really use them. Okay, so I'm gonna put them in decks. I'm gonna show you an episode of where they go, but we are not using them because there's rarely more than one card. And if a limit is 2 or less, you can exile the other 2 limit break cards from the limit deck, but you can't really play limit 3 if you only have a playset of 3 of that same card. It just doesn't work. So either we get multiple limits within a deck, so then we get rid of some of them to play 1, which is okay. You still gotta play the card. It's basically paying for a 61 card by having 6 extra ones. Weird. But yeah, we're not including that one in the Final Fantasy 13 one. But yeah, so we have the regular non-limit break lightning here, which is going to be cost 2, and it's a backup. We are in need of ice backups because we got like 3 ice decks, so we really were needing them. And lucky for us, this set is really showing us love because we got backup, all for lightning, and they're all for different decks too. So this is going to be for the lightning deck that's not the Sarah one. This is going to be for the ice deck. We got a lot of ice decks. So this lightning one is going to be the ice deck with lightning. This is the one that supports the Sarahs. And this Jill Nabad, there's already a few of them. They're all going to go together. So it's flavor, it's function, it's working. Okay, so let's see what it does. This lightning is cost 2, backup, Ravager Lassie. And it says at the beginning of the attack phase during each of your turns, choose 1 forward an opponent controls. If you control 2 or more Cat 13, dull it. Okay, we always control 2 or more Cat 13 because we only have Cat 13 in our deck. So that's amazing. That's a great tech card right there. And it's also forward for 2, so you can play it from turn 1 as soon as you discard another ice card. Okay, then we have the Jill Nabad. It's going to be cost 2 as well, backup, and it's a Psycom, and it says tap for 2. You can also do the dull effect regular. That I love that it assumes that, right? But yeah, you can tap for 2. No, tap it, dull it, and pay 2 ice. Now I said it right. Then put it into your break zone for cost, as in sacrifice it. Choose 1 dull forward and break it. Okay, so you got removal right there. Then we got the cost 3 Sarah. It's a backup Ravager, and it says when Sarah enters the field, select up to 1 of the 2 following actions. If you control a job commando, select up to 2 of the 2 following command actions instead. Okay, so that's Sarah. If there's another lightning, because it's the only commando there is. If there's a lightning around, it's 2 instead. So lightning supports Sarah in that way, indirectly. It doesn't say lightning, but it's a commando, so it's real. And the 2 actions are the following. Choose 1 character, dull it and freeze it. The other one is your opponent discards 1 card. Typical ice things, you know, just stacksy effects. That's disgusting. But hey, we love it. So yeah, we also got a beautiful art for Noel. It's a cost 5 wind Noel. It's a commando. Hey, so Sarah is also supported by Noel indirectly. I think this is the first time Noel is a commando and not something else. We got lightning and we got Noel. Sarah can get supported by both of them. Okay, so it's a forward with warp 3 for 1 wind CP. It has haste and first strike too. Wow, this guy is a powerhouse. I think let's read it. At the beginning of the attack phase during each of your turns, remove 1 warp counter from Noel for each category 13 character you control. This effect will trigger only if Noel is removed from the game and if a warp counter is placed on Noel. Wow, this guy comes out immediately because cost 5, but it's actually cost 1, but it's actually Cat 13, but it's actually on a 13 deck. This guy's going off like immediately. It's what, at the beginning of the attack phase. Okay, so you play it at the main, attack comes in, and it has haste and first strike. That's like a free Noel, 9,000 for 1 CP. That's crazy. Okay, we're gonna be using this card. It's also vanilla because its whole effect is bringing it out, right? It's kind of vanilla, but it has haste and first strike, so it is a pretty good attacker. That's gonna be a strong beat stick right there. And then last but not least, we have the Mog 13-2. Okay, so Mog is gonna be a 2-cost backup. It's a Moogle, and you can tap it and sacrifice it and search for 1 Cat 13 forward and add it to your hand. Very generic effect, but hey, it's another Moogle, and instead of ice, it's supporting lightning, which is pretty good. We also needed lightning backup, so keep them coming, Square. We need the most that we can get. You keep doing your thing, okay? So I say last but not least because I also have a set of monsters. Now, if you have been following the 13 series, you guys know that monsters are a filler card, okay? 13 does not cooperate with monsters. 13 does not play well. They are basically sacrifice cards. They are cards that I've been putting in the decks whenever I have nothing else. So that is literally bottom of the barrel stuff. Okay, we're scraping it whenever we reach the monsters, and by convergence, the monsters are the first things we take out. So the majority of cards that have no home, I do episodes on it. The majority of no home cards are monsters on 13. And what we're gonna see here is we just added 7 monsters, one for each element, except for some reason on Earth there's 2. Now, I still want to talk about it though. I'm not gonna read them out. They're bottom of the barrel. I don't care. They might not even do anything. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're good just because of the way that we've been building the decks. I'm not gonna read them, maybe later. But what's interesting though is that they are almost all cost 1, except for ice and the 2 earth ones. Why didn't they just make them cost 1 and maybe nerf it if it's too strong? Maybe, you know, do something less, like deal it 9,000 damage. That's a 1, okay? Now look at this one. It says like opponent discards 1 card. That should be a 1 too. Oh, becomes a forward with 8,000 power. Maybe you can have it be a 6,000 for 1. See, that's the kind of thing I don't understand in their design. I really don't. Now, this is the same situation. Maybe if you want to make them a cycle of 2s and they all have power, great. But if not, you can just have non-powered monsters like you did in the rest of the cycle, right? Right here, there's a U forming, right? And so yet this one is a 2, not a 1. I don't get it. So this is me calling out on some, you know, like small OCD things. It's not necessarily that I know that they play well or not, but they could have maybe down costed it, and also like it keeps the flavor going. You know what I mean? Like you make a cycle of monsters. Why are you only gonna make like 2 of the 6 different costs than the rest? You know, like if you're gonna make all of them have no power, why are you making 1 of them with power? You know, why are you making 1 of them with 2 attack? Why are you making 2 of them for 1 of the elements and just 1 for the rest? I feel like kind of irksome, but that's really stupid things. That's me nitpicking on the smallest situations, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know if you're as excited as I am for some of the cards. I mean, the Palom and Porum are so cute, and I'm also excited for the Garland. I'm excited for all these in Final Fantasy 13. I'm excited for them all. I don't know that the Gold Abyss is gonna see a lot of play, but it's a fun addition. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And I definitely know Asura and the rest of the monsters are not getting used. So yeah, I bought them for nothing, I guess. But hey, they're there because sometimes we need to scrape the bottom of the barrel. Sometimes we need those cards, okay? So these being all low cost, they might be a good addition or a good swap in card for those cards that are already bottom of the barrel in the rest of the decks, okay? So it might be good. Maybe we get a large enough count of water, wind, or fire wind that we can make a fire wind deck, and then we can put the Canes and we can put the Asuras there, you know, like we can do that, okay? So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, as well as like, share, subscribe, and follow for more, okay? I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.